Happy Wednesday morning for me, and happy whatever day or time it is for you. At this point, regardless of the day or the time or our current emotional status, we should have the switch set up. We've got text and voice output going on over here. We've got the text sending out from the body if it exists, and the audio if that exists. And we know that it's working on the text front because we can test that workflow out, open up our WhatsApp, do it on the phone, and say, how do I get through Wednesday without losing my mind? And if we send over a message, we see that we get the trigger. It passes accordingly through text. It gets processed through our LLM. I added an extra L. I don't know why. Our LLM brain, which then gets further processed for an output. And I'm getting an authorization error because I waited too long and that access token has now expired. It's at a 24-hour time frame. So if your access token expires, what you've got to do, or what you need to do, is you need to go into the credential where you have the access token and update it to you have to regenerate. So you can always generate a new one back in your developer app. And we'll put in the updated access token and save. And that's working. All right. And since I'm doing it there, I'm going to also have to update it as well. Is there somewhere else where I need to update it? I think over here, maybe. No, I don't think I need to do it there. Let's test it again. Let's run this again. And let's copy and paste the question. How do I get through Wednesday without losing my mind? And we are processing. And now we have a successful operation. Sounds like you're having a challenging week. Here are a few tips to help you manage stress and get through Wednesday more smoothly. Wonderful. Wonderful. Okay, so that's working. And if we test the workflow and we try a voice, Wednesday is tough, man. And I send that over. We get a successful operation that sends out the voice and nothing happens. So this is where we're at. This is where we need to continue. So the next thing we want to do is essentially take that audio file that's being sent out, because remember, this audio file is now being stored on the WhatsApp cloud. In order to access it, though, they're not all willy-nilly. They don't want people just running through and just grabbing whatever they want. They want to make sure that you have the right token to access it. And then you need to convert it. And if you're going to be using that here on N8N, that can't just be an audio file or some JSON. You need to get that in binary data. So we got to convert that up into binary data. So the first part of what I just said is what? Well, we need to first be able to access it. So what we can do is a two-step process. All right, so I'm going to add a node over here. We're going to go back to WhatsApp. In WhatsApp Business Cloud, we can download media. Now, I wish this worked as is, but unfortunately, there's going to be a bit more. But we want to set up the credential, so update the credential with that token, and we're going to pass in for the media ID, the ID. And if we test this setup, we should get an output here, the URL output, but it's not giving us what we need specifically. What we want is to extract this URL output, right? So this URL output, for example, if we were to copy it, so take this big output, copy it, and paste it into our browser, we're not going to get access to it, right? It's not going to allow us to do that because the best practice is no, you can't just grab that. So how can we access it and convert it into the proper format? Well, we can use an HTTP request to do that. You know what? Easy win, nice recap. That should give you a good explanation of what's going on, what we need to do. Let's stop right here. You can continue right along to the next video. We'll jump right into it, but I think it's a good place to bookmark because we did just review the switch. We discussed the process of how things are stored in the cloud when it comes to audio files or whatnot, and how you can't just willy-nilly access that information afterwards. Otherwise, you can imagine all the malicious potential executions and mess that would cause. So let's hunker up, and in the next lesson, let's create a custom HTTP request and grab that audio file, convert it into binary, and then we have a nice pizza pie agent. I'll see you there.